Have you ever envisioned what it's like to reside in a village nestled among the Swiss mountains? Wooden houses surrounded by lush pastures, cows with bells around their necks, and snow blanketing everything in winter. It sounds like a scene from a movie, doesn't it? Yet, this is the reality for many families living high in the Alps. Here, life is straightforward, but it's not always easy. The residents of these villages depend on what the land and animals provide. They raise cows, produce milk and cheese, care for nature, and bravely face the harsh cold. There are no shopping malls, no traffic, but there is silence, mountains, and tradition. In this video, we will explore how these individuals live, what they eat, how they endure the harsh winters, and what a day in the life of an alpine farmer looks like. Despite the numerous challenges, many choose to remain far from the city and close to nature. So stay with us until the end, because what you're about to see is a real life, sometimes tough, but filled with beauty, peace, and truth. The roads begin to narrow, the curves become tighter, and with each ascent, the world below fades away. The sounds of the city vanish, replaced by the wind rustling through the trees, the songs of birds, and the silence of the heights. Everything seems to be in its rightful place, as if it was built with care, respecting the landscape. The mountains are colossal, imposing, and the villages appear to hide among them, as if seeking permission to exist there. In summer the fields burst with greenery and light. In winter everything turns white and quiet. Arriving in these towns feels like stepping into another era, a slower, simpler time, where life still follows the seasons, the sunlight, and the daily necessities. The routine in the alpine villages begins early. Before the sun rises, people are already awake, lighting the fire, brewing coffee, and heading out to tend to the animals. Here, time doesn't rush, it walks slowly, in sync with the land and the work. Most families live off what they produce, and what they lack is exchanged with neighbors or bought in the nearest village, often miles away. Children grow up learning from their parents and grandparents. They know the names of the plants, the paths of the livestock, and help wherever they can, while the elders remain active, even if the weight of the years is evident in their gait. Life here is built on hard work, but also on respect for the land, for the cycles of nature, and for one another. Everything has its time, and no one is in a hurry to change what has worked for generations. This simple life in the mountains is made of labor, respect, and a profound connection to nature. If you're enjoying this glimpse into this world, please give us a like and subscribe to the channel. There's still so much more to discover. Working in the fields of the Swiss mountains is a tough daily task. Almost everything revolves around the animal. Cows, goats, and sheep are the lifeblood of many families. Caring for them requires strength, patience, and consistency. From early morning, the villagers are already in the barn. They feed the animals, clean the area, and milk the cows, producing warm milk that will soon be used for cheese, butter, or stored for sale. In summer the livestock ascend with the shepherds to the higher pastures, where the grass is fresh and abundant. They spend weeks living in mountain cabins, tending to the flock and producing artisanal cheese right there. In winter everything happens closer to home, with the animals sheltered from the cold. Besides livestock, some cultivate small gardens, chop firewood, repair fences, and maintain the meadows. It's a job that never stops. The countryside demands presence and dedication. But for those born to this rhythm, the effort is part of life. They don't complain, they simply do what needs to be done with the same respect learned from childhood, caring for the land, the animals, and what they have. At the table in the alpine villages, everything tastes like truth. The food comes from the earth, the grass, and the efforts of those who live there. There are no excesses or waste. Every ingredient is valued. The milk, milked in the morning, becomes cheese by the end of the day. Traditional varieties like Gruyere and raclette are made artisanally, following ancient recipes passed down through generations. Bread is baked at home, with local flour and natural fermentation. And there's always something to accompany it: freshly made butter, or a piece of cured meat. In summer they harvest what the land provides. In winter, the stored food sustains the family: preserves, pickles, aged cheeses, and dried grains. Meals are not rushed. They are important moments, often enjoyed in silence, or in quiet conversations around the table. It's there that food is shared, as well as life. Simplicity is not a lack, it's a choice. Eating well for them is not about luxury, but about origin, flavor, and memory. When winter arrives in the Alps, everything changes: colors fade, silence deepens, and the landscape is cloaked in white. Snow is not only beautiful, it also brings real challenges for those living in the villages. Temperatures drop significantly, roads freeze, and sometimes homes are isolated for days. That's why, before the first snowfall, families are already prepared: firewood stacked, food stored, barns reinforced to protect the animals from the cold. Outside, the world slows down. Cows no longer graze. They stay sheltered, warm, and fed with hay stored in summer. The residents ensure that the water doesn't freeze, and daily tasks continue, even with strong winds and snow up to their knees. Inside the houses, the wood stove never stops. It heats, cooks, and gathers the family around. It's during this time that tools are repaired, clothes are sewn, and what was left undone during the busy months is taken care of. Winter is harsh, but it also teaches planning, respect for nature, and appreciation for simple moments, like the warmth of coffee, the sound of the fire, or the quiet company during a long cold night. In the alpine villages of Switzerland, culture is not found in museums. It's alive in the daily lives of the people. Every gesture, every custom, carries centuries of history, and although time passes, many things remain unchanged. Celebrations follow the rhythm of the season. When summer arrives, residents celebrate the ascent of livestock to the high pastures. In autumn, they rejoice in the return of the animals to the barns. During these times, bells ring, old songs are sung, and traditional costumes embroidered by hand are worn. Music is a strong part of the tradition. The sound of the alphorn, that long wooden instrument, resonates through the mountains during celebrations and gatherings, and the choral singing, with firm and gentle voices, speaks of nostalgia, nature, and faith. There's also craftsmanship: wooden objects, textiles made on ancient looms, embroidered quilts, all created with patience and pride. Each piece carries a bit of the soul of its maker. Even the young who study or travel often return to these traditions, because here, culture is not just the past, it's identity. It's what keeps people connected to their land, their village, and their unique way of living. In the alpine villages, nature is not just a landscape, it's part of life. People live in harmony with what the mountains offer, respecting every tree, every river, and every animal that crosses their path. The cycle of the seasons defines everything. Spring brings flowers and renews the pasture. Summer is a time of intense work, with livestock in the high fields, and harvesting food. In autumn, they prepare for winter, by stacking firewood and storing food. And winter, with its white silence, is a time for rest and reflection. Here the air is pure, the sky clear, and the rhythm of life is dictated by the sounds of nature: the wind in the trees, the songs of birds, the murmurs of streams. All of this accompanies daily life and gives a different meaning to live. This deep connection makes people appreciate what they have. Knowing they depend on the land and animals awakens a respect that goes beyond the obvious, a silent gratitude for each day lived here. Living in the alpine villages is not for everyone. Life is tough, the work is hard, and the isolation can sometimes be difficult to bear. But for those who choose this path, the reasons go beyond comfort or ease. Many stay because they carry their family's history, because their love for the land is greater than any difficulty. Others seek a different way of life, away from the noise and rush of big cities. It's a delicate balance to maintain traditions, while also facing the changes of the modern world. The youth sometimes feel torn between leaving to study or work elsewhere, and the desire to preserve their ancestors' way of life. But even with the challenges, Most who stay find satisfaction in simple things, in the peace of the mountains, in the strength of community, in work that has meaning. Choosing this life means accepting its challenges, but also embracing all it can offer. As the day ends in the Alpine villages, the light slowly spreads across the sky. The mountains wrap everything in a silent embrace, and life there seems to slow down even more. In that silence, what truly matters becomes clear. The warmth of a simple home, the taste of food made with one's own hands, the calm gaze of people who have learned to live with little but with great meaning. Happiness is not found in what is lacking or in what is desired. It lies in the respect for what the earth provides, in the care of animals, in the stories shared around the fire. It's in the calm of those who know their place in the world. Living in the Alpine villages is choosing a path of simplicity and resilience. It's understanding that amidst the mountains and silence, there can exist a wealth that no money can buy. Thank you for traveling with us to these high-altitude villages. If you enjoyed discovering this way of life that is so different, please give us a like to support the channel. Don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss the upcoming videos filled with real and inspiring stories. And let us know in the comments which part of this simple life in the mountains caught your attention the most. We'll chat until the next video, and may simplicity also inspire your daily life.